We recently got news that Microsoft, I'm talking Bill Gates, I'm talking Xbox 360, Microsoft Word, Microsoft PowerPoint, ever heard of it? They are potentially investing in Bitcoin, which is big news. It's just another bullish sign for Bitcoin. We've been seeing them all year. We recently got these reports that Microsoft is going to have a shareholder meeting on December 10th where their shareholders are going to vote on if they want to start making a small investment in Bitcoin. And this is a big deal because we know how big of a company Microsoft is, currently the third largest company in the world by market cap at 3.18 trillion. And when they make moves, people notice. People follow them, right? There's leaders and there's followers in the market, and Microsoft is one of the leaders. And the more we see companies start to adopt Bitcoin and invest in Bitcoin and have shareholder meetings about Bitcoin, the more we're going to see other companies do the same thing. So, definitely a bullish sign to see this report come out. And when we look at all the traction Bitcoin has gained over this year, over the past couple of months, it's been a main topic in this election. It makes sense that Microsoft would maybe want to invest in Bitcoin. Why wouldn't you want to invest in the best performing asset for the past 15 years or so? MicroStrategy started their Bitcoin buying strategy 4 years ago, and look what it has done for them. Look at the price of MicroStrategy shares. Do you think MicroStrategy shareholders are happy about their little investment in Bitcoin or their really big investment in Bitcoin? I think they are, as we've seen MicroStrategy go to new heights. So it makes sense that Microsoft, being a large company and looking to hedge against inflation, looking to diversify their holdings, why wouldn't you take some of the $76 billion in cash that you have and put 10% of that, even just one, start little, dip your toe in a little bit, put 1% in. Looking at this from Microsoft's perspective, why wouldn't you take a little bit of that cash that you have on hand, which is losing value? We know that cash loses value over time. It goes down in price against all the things that we want and need to buy. So wouldn't you take a little bit of that and just put it into Bitcoin? It's going to rise in value for you. It's going to be productive capital for you, and it will allow you to kind of see how the strategy works. And we already know that the strategy works for companies. When you buy and hold Bitcoin, whether you're at the state level, the business level, or the individual level, like you and me, it pays off over time. You see your purchasing power rise. And for companies that are looking to hedge against inflation, which is only going to get worse as time goes on, as all these countries, including the United States, continue to get into more debt and wider deficits, why wouldn't you put yourself into the asset that is hedging against inflation the best? And cash sucks. I mean, 76 billion in cash is really just a little bit of cash on hand for a giant like Microsoft who has a market cap of over 3 trillion, but you could cut that in half and put a little bit into Bitcoin and it will go a long way. Really, if companies are smart, they put more than a little bit into Bitcoin, because the more you put into Bitcoin, the more you see your value grow, the more you see your purchasing power and your capital grow. So super bullish. Another thing I will say is that we got to keep in mind, what's the price going to be at on December 10th when they have this shareholder meeting? We know we have this big election coming up in about 10 days now, and depending upon the outcome, this could send the price of Bitcoin a lot higher or maybe a little bit lower. We know that whether you like him or hate him, Donald Trump is the more pro Bitcoin candidate. So if he does win, I think we can expect to see a nice little pump in the price, and it could maybe go to new all-time highs. We also know that the Bitcoin supply on exchanges is getting lower as we start to see that supply shock set in from the halving. And there's also other factors out there. So we could get some more positive or negative catalysts for Bitcoin. And if the Bitcoin price is a lot higher on December 10th and we're seeing adoption grow more, I'm sure that shareholders at Microsoft are going to want to get their piece of the pie. And when we think about some of these shareholders, we can think about names like BlackRock, who has been a huge advocate for Bitcoin this whole year. They are one of Microsoft's largest shareholders. And we know that a lot of their other large shareholders are pro Bitcoin. So I think it's more than likely that we are going to see this vote passed in favor of investing in Bitcoin, but we will just have to see. I don't know the Microsoft shareholders, right? There's a lot of them, but this is just another bullish catalyst for Bitcoin, and we're going to see these catalysts just come up more and more. The more we see Bitcoin adoption grow, the more we see the price go up, the more we see people talk about it. Everybody's going to want to get their piece of the pie, and the fact that we got this report doesn't surprise me at all. I think that we're going to continue to see companies look to invest in Bitcoin as it proves to be the best monetary asset out there for them to invest in. That wraps it up for this video. If you didn't like and subscribe, please make sure to do that now. Really trying to get this channel rolling here heading into 2025. So I appreciate your support. If you hit that subscribe button, thanks for watching. I'll be back soon.